I would say, guys, that sometimes life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, and sometimes life hands you dessert on a platter. Richard, we already had this episode planned. Blake is here, and you have a moment where it's like, hold on, this combo is going to work. Thank you for jumping on, and Blake, thank you for jumping on too.
Thank you for having me very much.
Yeah, man, thanks.
So, background real quick. Blake is one of the founding members. He oversees the music. You ran the sound for the rodeo this year.
Yes, this year and last year, I was the music director for the Hondo, yes.
Billy Bray said something to me a couple years ago. She said, Richard Jones is maybe one of the funniest people I've ever met. And I'd met you, and I go, who's that now? And she goes, Richard Jones. I go, Richard Jones? Really? And she goes, yeah. So what I'm saying is, I had to learn that it was in there over a period of time because there's this kind of shell facade that.
Well, because I'm all business. No, I'm really not all business, but thanks. Well, I think that's a compliment. Thanks.
It is.
I try to have fun.
You just don't wear it on the outside. Yeah. Blake is equally fun, but you don't have to dig as deep. Blake makes it more available. Blake's fun is right out front. Captain Fun Haver, also head of our HR department.
Awesome. And that helps out.
The reason we do that is so that Blake never gets in trouble with HR.
That's right.
It's a round file cabinet that we keep for all HR issues. It's really great.
Tell me, it seems like I hear your name associated with a few different jobs. You run the entire deal upstairs.
Yeah, help manage it. It's Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. It's 100 Outdoor Christmas. So, yeah, that's my crew up there, put it together or helps put them together and manage it. I do.
Yep. And then sound?
Doing music at a watch party at the South Point for the Elk Foundation as well. Right. We have Garrison Allen, new kind of really good rodeo announcer hosting and giveaways every night, and it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome. Also in the cattle business?
No. I got a few core indies. It's not in the cattle business at all.
Because Blake, you're doing the bull riding deal. So for all that he's doing for the Hondo, he's also got bulls with cord.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, me and Cord started raising bulls a few years ago.
Wouldn't it be Cord and I?
Yeah, hold it. Oh, sorry. Cord and I started.
There it is. There it is.
Started raising the bulls together.
Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah.
And we're off.
A few years ago, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. I took a load of calves out there to him the other day, and we have a good time with it.
So Cord, such a great guy, first of all, but really does well in the bull business. I saw him yesterday at the South Point. He was talking about had some in the show, some in the sale, but I get to see Cord almost every weekend. I work for the PBR full-time for the professional bull riders. He brings bulls there. Then also he does TV commentary for the PBR teams.
That's an interesting mix of dude right there that can bring bulls, be a contestant, great, the race, amazing race, and that he's articulate enough that he can lead a TV broadcast and do a good job.
Yeah, he is. And it's funny, and not saying anything terrible, but not very many old bull riders can articulate like he can and get through it.
Anymore.
Not anymore. I mean, yeah. They really struggle. I would struggle. That's a tough gig, and he's very good at it.
Yeah. How did you guys get in the bull business together?
So it was kind of when we started the Hondo. We started the Hondo, and James introduced me to Cord, and Cord's in the bull business. So I'd been thinking about getting some more cattle on our family place back in Alabama, and Cord and I started talking and kind of picked it up from there. And we bought our first bull. It's funny, we were over in we call it Front Row, Louisiana, Monroe, for a PBR Velocity event. And Bob Coker, who's one of the founders of the Hondo, was with us. And Cord said, hey, I've got this bull, a really good bull I'm thinking about buying. Would you guys be interested in going in with us? And Bob's sitting in the back seat of my truck. He kind of leans up and says, heck yeah, let's do it. And looks at me and says, Blake, will you do it with me? And kind of put me on the spot. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Oh, by the way, how much is it?
Yeah.
Commit before you have to pull
and
off
then
the check.
Cord gave us a price, and we were all in. And then from there, we just started building it, started buying more bulls that were already in the PBR bucking, and then started getting in some younger bulls, and it led all the way up to Cord and I going in on a bunch of cattle together and raising bulls. So
that's great.
I would be okay actually taking a little bit of a backseat on this episode. I would be interested to see what the correlation is here, because you guys have a music background. You're a cowboy, you got bulls, but you're doing a real technical thing in the music part of what you do. You are a part of this organization that's bringing world-class concerts. You look at Richard. Richard looks like every cattle buyer I ever knew growing up, but then he's running sound at the PBR, which is a high-level technical event. I don't know how to ask this exactly, but you're both doing something that seems different for a job than you would think looking from the outside.
So to credit here, you know, whenever we came up with the Hondo, you know, we'd been a fan of rodeo and a fan of music and concerts for a long, long time. And had gone to several PBR events and Houston Rodeo and all that. And just seeing the level of production these guys bring night in and night out and how great it is really inspires you in what you're trying to do and what you're trying to create when you go do your own event. So, you know, the cool thing and what we did is take a little piece of everything that we've learned, everything that we've seen, and then try to bring that into the Hondo. And, you know, tip of the cap to these guys because they bring it at the best level every night.
There's my question right there. He saw something and he felt like he could create and improve status quo, right? When you come in, you're running sound of the PBR, which PBR is innovative and groundbreaking, and they're the tip of the spear. Did you come in thinking, man, I think I can perform at that level, or did you come in thinking, I think there's room for me to come in and make it better?
This is the best way I can answer that. We're both in the entertainment business, so I'm going to bring my best to entertain during my part of it and set them up to entertain during the later part of it. I mean, we had great music acts. Crazy had to click through there and lock every Nickelback song, lock every Kid Rock song, so I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just being a part of it, and I appreciate the compliment, both of y'all. I do think the PBR, we do our best to really entertain that crowd, and, you know, we're the kind of...
You guys were the standard, though. I guess that's what I'm saying, is like, you came in to what is the standard. When you got to the PBR specifically, was there a learning curve, or did you come in with innovation, the plan to take it to a new level, or just keep up?
No, I want to change the game. We want to, all of us want to change the game. Yeah, I want to change the game for sure. And we do things now way different than we used to. But as an organization, we have learned, and I mean, we just instituted teams a few years ago. You know how many thousand people said, that's never going to work. Well,
right.
It's wonderful. You know what I mean? It's a whole new fan base of bull riding fans,
right.
Rodeo fans. So no, I think we can elevate the game. I don't even think we're close to the top.
For people that don't know, and this is like a personal question, if nobody else thinks this is interesting, I'm actually curious. When I've done some stuff like with Brad, and then you know, talked to Hambone and stuff. Somewhere in there, all of a sudden, the sound guys, it's like there was this illumination moment of like, wait, we don't just have to push play. We can incorporate sound as part of the experience that enhances the experience. Where were you in all of that as that was starting to kind of get dug out of the dirt?
So prior to me, you had Benji Bindley in Texas, and he was, you know, really innovative, kind of a pioneer. And then there was Chuck Lopeman on the West Coast, the West Coast town. And there was a guy named Gogi, but Kurt Blake, there was a few of those guys, but just a few of them. You know, the way rodeo was, hell, there was a band for years.
Yeah, live band that forward.
Yeah,
like
live
now.
band,
So, yeah.
and then the announcer used to play his own music with cassette tapes and mini disc, and so...
Yeah, there were some of it was inhibited by the technology.
Right.
You couldn't have done it back then because there wasn't the technology to allow it.
That's right. So and I've been around for about 20 years now, since me, I mean, the laptops there were some, let's see how to start. There were some pioneers that really helped me along the way, and there was guys I learned from, and I just really try to be different and try to make my own genre or make my own style. And you want to talk about music directors, I'm going to damn sure talk about Brad Narducci, who mixed his first NFR last night. I mean, got his buckle. I cried with him. He cried. It's just such an amazing thing. Well, he's 20 years younger than I am.
Right.
So he makes things better. He brings new, fresher, more fresh. Sorry about the grammatical there. More fresh.
But like, don't you mean?
A different angle to it. He's a Montana. He's a native, and just super proud of him. But he's, guys like that make you better.
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody in the Western industry better at crowd work than Brad Narducci.
Oh, so
he'll
great.
get up there and he's so dry and funny. He'll entertain a crowd doing live interviews with the crowd.
We bring him in as a stadium host.
He's brilliant. He is brilliant at that.
The guy's just brilliant, and he's so great at what he does. And what's even better than all that, he's a wonderful human being. I mean, the world's a better place because Brad's
He's a great follow on social media. The stuff he comes up with on social media is great.
But anyway, part of that, Yeah, I still think we're learning. I think we're all molding a little bit, and I think the game's just getting better and better.
How much of that, and again, like I said, I'm happy to take a back seat. If this is a conversation really between the two of you guys, it would make more sense. But he says that, and then you look at what the Hondo's doing, and it's almost like I'm hearing the same exact words, but he's talking about how the sound has changed, and there's innovation and new rules, new technology, new things. When he says that, derive your experience on what you guys are doing and compare that, because it feels similar.
Well, yeah, I mean, with each event, there's, after the event is over with, you go through and you see where your shortcomings, where you fell a little bit short. And, when you talk about sound and you talk about production from a concert level in these big stadiums, you have to make sure that sound's traveling through that building to give all the fans, whether they're in the front row or they're at the very top seat, in the stadium, the same level of experience. And you can always, the day that you think that you've got it licked and figured out is the day you're in trouble, in my opinion, because you can always get better at it and always look for new and different technology and different ways in order to make that better. And that's what we did, just from year 1 to year 2 in the Hondo. The height of our delay towers, pushing sound up through the top of the building, all of that stuff comes into play when you're putting on these events, to where you're steadily tweaking and always improving from year after year after year. And I think it's an evolution that never really stops. You just keep going and keep going, trying to make it the best you can.
And I need to clarify right now, I am not a sound man, I'm a music director. What your A1 does, what your sound man does, is concert style sound. For the rodeo, saying us in the PBR, we bought a $2.5 million rig. I mean, a
right.
D&B rig, because it's concert sound. Always, it's the production value that you're trying to elevate. And what a great job at the Hondo. It was amazing.
Would you mind talking about that? Because, like I said, you guys are the tip of the spear in the Western industry, and all of a sudden you come in. How'd you get tied into the Hondo?
Cord.
Okay.
Cord,
so you come in, first year event, now second year event. Based on your experience, having been at all of our, the peak of the mountains, the PBR for production always has been, what was your experience like? What did you expect? And then what was it? The experience?
The experience was great. I didn't really know what to expect. I worried a little bit. I'm not worried a little bit, but sometimes when you have a concert after, you wonder are they here for the rodeo or are they here for the concert?
Right.
And the great thing about the Hondo, those people were there early.
Yep.
They were there for the whole experience, and I'm just glad to be part of it. So.
Sound quality wise, I feel like creative people, when you put them, this is gonna be a weird analogy, but say somebody's bulb shines at about 50, and then you put them with somebody else that shines at about 50, but you put them together and they shine at 150. It's like there's an exponential. Creative people around creative people enhances production, creativity, performance, and it feels like to me both of you guys in your own way feed off of other. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm not trying to answer the question for you, but do you feel like that you walk into the Hondo and you're like, man, this is my best work because the sound's good, the operation's good. You're not having that in the back of your mind of why'd that guy do that, or why aren't they doing this?
Once you get to that level, you have all the tools to succeed.
Yeah.
Then you rely on your talent to get you through. I've been we've all done rodeos and bull riding and stuff where the sound was not, the speakers themselves was, less than stellar, or, lighting less than stellar. But when you go to the Hondo, all the tools are there.
Yeah. Now it's just you.
Go do it.
Now it's just you.
Just go do it all. They got a great sound system, lighting rig. The crew that y'all hired was top of the line. I mean,
and I think
all you got to do is go to work.
I think you got to put a lot of trust in them too. Once you got that, the group of people there that are, like you're talking about with talent, you give them the freedom and the ability to get within their creative and go out there and build it like they, you don't put a governor on them.
Right.
You let them get out there and really show you what they can do. And once you do that, man, the sky's the limit on what you're going to do next and how better you're going to make the event.
That's where they'll always want what's next.
Yeah.
What's next? What can we do better than, bigger than last time? Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about on Still Rise, man. You still got lots to do.
I get that every time we book acts to play after the Hondo. It's like that's one of the biggest challenges in what I do with the Hondo is who are you going to get next year? Like who's going to be the next group of performers to come after the rodeo's over? And it's the same thing, we're invitation only with the Hondo, so we're watching those athletes competing day in and day out. to really cherry pick those best ones to invite them to come compete. So we put the best product out there for that too. So it's it's a challenge each and every year, but it's one that's fun to do.
Tell me, these experiences always stick in your head. You don't want them to, and they always do, and you always go back to them. You're sitting there at the Honda or the PBR, and you're like, I've got all the tools. I am fully free to be as good as I can be. Go back to that experience that one day years ago that was the opposite of that, where because in my mind, every time I have an experience like the Honda, I'm like, man, I've come a long way since blank. Do you still think about those, those blank experiences in the beginning starting out?
I absolutely do, and the struggles through. I mean,
what were the worst ones?
I used to announce the junior high and high school New Mexico rodeos. I used to haul speakers, paid for my own room, started at 8 in the morning, got done at 10 at night.
And you're trying to make junior high rodeo.
Not barely making enough money to get through. But I'll tell you a little something. We do. Learn this from Junior Sayout. Remember? Comes in there in the locker room. He was trying to be a bullfighter. He totally froze and got hooked. It was awesome. So we tap in before the performance. Flint and I do it. Chris Rankin, Clint Atkins, and I. Brad does it. So you remember all those times and those struggles. And, at the end of I'll be on the road 47 weeks this year. You get towards the end, we're at the team's finals the other day, and you can either get sour or you can decide to tap yourself in and remember where you came from, and look where you are right now.
Yeah.
So all right, we're tapping in. So you're giving your best. I can go into a huge philosophy on what I think. I think that all of us in this industry, and I'm just lucky to be part of them, we have a gift that that God has given us, and it's our job in this business to give that gift away to those people that buy a ticket.
That is something that I see happening amongst the happy people. The happy people are the ones that enjoy giving it away. It seems like it's the miserable people that are looking for how to deeper capitalize on it for themselves.
Right.
They're always most unhappy. What is it about the fan response that matters to both of you guys? Because you can't be good at your job if you're not interested in the response. There's that relationship of like, when I say, you can give me an example. When something happens in the arena and you've got a soundbite that you play and everybody laughs, you're like, got it.
That was for us this year. Jordan, Sam, and I got together to create this intro video that went from the rodeo to the music. And I
called
Jordan
that video,
up,
Richard?
and my first thing was like, unfortunately, one of our heroes as a kid passed away, Hulk Hogan. So I was like, hey man, what if we made this video? We're very patriotic at the Hondo, just like at the PBR. And
that's right.
What if we made this video that really focused on that? And I got this idea, like, Hulk Hogan's intro song and him busting through the curtains with the American flag, and then we're going into all the things that make America great. I think we even put up, back-to-back World War champs on the screen.
Oh yeah.
So that was, but the response from the crowd. So when you do something like that, like you're waiting, like you're standing in a stadium with 30-something thousand people, and you're waiting to hopefully hear a response. And when those people start cheering and really getting excited about it.
Something that would happen quietly in a hotel room that now is out, and you remember the genesis of that idea and the work that went into it, and then you see the response of the people, and you're like, I knew that was going to work.
And it goes back for me, like when you said I started out in music. I was in the FFA and played in a country band in high school, and then rock and roll took over, which is kind of funny. I was in Crystal's parking lot, 16 years old in Columbus, Georgia. Getting ready to order a Crystal, and over the radio, 102.9, Creed song, My Own Prison, comes on the radio, which is crazy because Creed's playing our event here in New Orleans. So I hear that song, and I'm like, wow, it was heavier than grunge, something cool. And I started really, I'd always loved grunge music. I listened to 80s metal before that, but really, as far as a musician, said, hey, I want to play that.
Right.
That makes me want to play that.
All of a sudden, you heard something that sounded like you.
Yeah, so I went from country to heavy rock and roll music, and my days cutting my teeth as a musician you're carrying gear in and out. You're going to little bars all over the country.
And really not getting that response en masse.
No.
Meaning, like, the thing that is so gratifying is the work and the response. And in those days, the junior high deal, and like what you're saying, you're doing as much or more work, but on way less currency of, like, making it worth it.
And sometimes there's only one person there you're playing to give you that response.
Right. Yeah, but I don't care if there's 10 people in this crowd, 10,000, 100,000. Those 10 people, those 10,000, they worked their ass off to make money, and they decided to spend their money to come see us.
Right.
So they deserve your best.
Yep.
There's a story about a guy, he's a preacher, and church's been real kind of down, He shows up to church, and he's going to preach. He's got his whole sermon. He's ready to go, and there's one person sitting out there, and he's kind of dejected, and the guy goes, hey, listen, when I go out to feed my cows, if only one cow shows up, I still feed it. Preacher's like, you got it. So he just preaches his guts out. He goes through all of his notes, and he's hitting every point, and he's thinking, man, I think I'm actually doing all right here. He gets done, he goes, what do you think? And he goes, I said I feed the cow. I didn't say I unloaded the whole trailer.
No, to his point, I mean, you're exactly right. That was a mentality as a band, as you wanted to always perform like you were performing in front of a huge arena of people. And that was the show you wanted to deliver every night, no matter who was in the crowd. And like I say, a lot of times it was your buddy that came there with you, was the only guy there. And you were putting on the best show ever for him. So, all of that, you learn as you cut your teeth coming through to prepare you for what you're doing now, I think.
I think and I talked to Brad a little bit ago, when the performance is over, when the rodeo performance, bull riding performance is over, if you did it right, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. I mean, as a music director, I believe it is our job to dictate the emotion of the crowd. There's times to clap, there's times to dance, there's time to get serious, there's time. If you get done and you're not tired, I don't think you tried near hard enough.
I want to go more into that, because something I see, not just with you two, but especially you two, is that your personality is being poured into what's happening. We had a deal with Cody Johnson. Cody Johnson goes down, and Blake is the guy that hustles around and gets everything that you're seeing on that stage started with the work that Blake is putting in. So you're up there, you're seeing a concert, but for us that know Blake, we're seeing Blake on display.
That's right. You're on display.
And in a weird way, if somebody hasn't experienced that, it's hard to understand, because we all understand blue collar, right? Like, if you got calluses, you're tired. But when you pour the essence of who you are into something, how exhausting that is. The sound, same thing. There's times where the sound guy gets it right, or the music director gets it right, and you're like, we're experiencing, because if I know that guy, I'm like, I know why he thought that was funny.
That's right.
How do you maintain a healthy balance that you're not just burn out 47 weeks a year? Because you're not going to be around people who understand that.
Yeah,
you're not going to be around. So you got to manage yourself, because in a previous career with what I did, I never felt like there was people who really understood that enough that I could navigate it. It was isolating feeling.
I feel like there's more pressure on him than me for that. And here's why I'll say that. There's a lot of that goes into booking and putting these artists on the stage. But once they get on that stage, that's their show. And they're proven to grab the emotion of that audience and hold them in the palm of their hand till that show's over with. Being a music director, and correct me if I'm wrong, every clip, every song, every sound, every ride, everything he's doing, he's grabbing the emotion of that audience in everything he's doing, and he's having to do it in real time based off what's going on in the dirt
in
at
real
that
time.
moment.
In real time.
I feel like that's the...
You
that
can't
is-
proceduralize it.
No, and let me tell you, like the guys I rope with at home, they just think I have an iPad up there and I'm just
Right,
clicking.
right.
They tease me about it, but what goes into it is hours and hours at home and download music and listen to this, watching video after video, and hey, this one is an emotional song. This one will work here. Once you get to the arena, your homework has been done, but now it's time to go to work. And like, I don't play sound effects. I don't do boing. I don't do, just because that wasn't my style.
Right.
But I want them I pour my emotions out there 100%. And the best part, or the easiest part about it for me, is I am still a fan.
Yeah, right.
It's been 15 years ago, I got a monster truck tour It paid better than the rodeos did. Paid better than and I hated it.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if Bigfoot beats Gravedigger. I just, not that
Right.
It's not a great sport.
Do you think that helped you remember that you're a fan?
For sure.
Yeah.
But did you watch Shad Mayfield chainsaw through that calf last night? I was like, woohoo! You know, I was there when Jose was 98 points. You know what I mean? I was, and jumping up and down. I was there when JB rode.
Well, you're pouring yourself into something that matters to you versus pouring yourself into something that isn't, because it's going to cost you the same.
That's right.
It's what are you getting back out of it?
Let me ask you a question, though. That ride, like when Jose did that ride on Whoopah, right? If the music didn't fit the ride at the time,
if it
pulling
was a
that
slack.
emotion up, to
if it
bring
had
that
been a
emotion
slack.
up, as great as the ride is, how would it have been if it wasn't the right choice?
And, well, I think it affects it. I do.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, I'm going to give you a basketball analogy. I believe the music director's job is like Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player there ever was. But Pippen kept dishing it to him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, every once in a while, he'd get the lane and jam one in there himself.
Right.
But you're the music director is the assist. So I just assisted the emotion and I can tell you exactly what song I played.
Well, what'd you play?
I played Can't Be Touched, which is his song that he starts with, and I switched to an AC/DC Buck song. I shouldn't say exactly what song, but I was there when he wrote him the first time in AT&T Stadium during COVID, which I think was a better ride personally. I mean,
but there's no crowd.
We had a crowd.
There was?
Not much, just a long ways away.
Okay.
But I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
I still
That's so perfect.
love that sport. I
got a weird question for both of you guys. If I go dig ditches all day, when I go home, I'm probably not thinking about digging ditches. But if I'm doing something intellectual, my grandpa was not an intellectual guy. He was a blue collar guy. And if I ever did anything that involved anything intellectual, it wasn't work to him. Like, I still deal with guilt. If I do something that's intellectually taxing, I still feel a little bit of guilt about it, right?
Yeah.
When you go home, it's hard to turn it up. Rest is an action, not a passive, right? And so you guys are both in a position where if you allow yourselves, your wheels will always be spinning, and you're around people, maybe like your friend group, that is more of that blue collar approach. Do you feel like, in a weird way, that this job could be isolated? Like, you could almost end up feeling lonely. Like, I love you guys, but I feel alone in this.
So much touring, and there's a big long, I don't know who wrote it, but touring is you don't get comfortable at home sometimes. And I tell you what I do, and you guys are thinking I'm crazy. I shoot horses. I used to be a full-time horse shooter before I had this gig. So now I keep a few horses on the books just because it's good for my soul.
Yeah.
I just go, and I used to shoot 6 a day every day. I'll go shoot 2 now. I bring them to my house, and that's what helped. It grounds me, and it just better.
That's the raising bulls for me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't turn it off. If you love it as much as we love it, it's something you're always constantly thinking of how it can be better, and stuff pops in your head, and like it's, I drive some of the guys we work with crazy because something will pop in my head, and hey, let's work on it. Let's get going. And it goes back to songwriting. When you're a songwriter, there was a rule back when we started: write a song a day. That was a goal. No matter if it was good or not, good or bad, write a song a day, and that's going to help you hone in your craft. So every day I'm thinking of something to try to improve what we're doing. But the time when I don't do that is when I get to go out there and work with my cows.
Yep.
Or else I turn it all off.
Shooting horses, working with the bulls. Do you think those two things are the result of not being able to turn it off otherwise? Like, if you didn't have something that actively blocked the thinking, do you feel like you have the mechanism to turn it off if you wanted to?
I do not.
I don't
have the capability.
Yeah.
It's also why I don't sleep. Get up in the middle of the night and work on music.
But I think for me, the only way I can turn it off when I'm messing with bulls or working with cats,
is when you're doing something different.
Because it's something that has to take all of my focus away, especially with those wild things we got. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, you don't want to be distracted out there.
That. Other than that, if I go sit in a tree stand and go deer hunting, I'm thinking about it. If whatever I'm doing, it's constantly rolling.
So how much deeper love is a strong word, but like, how much more of a deeper connection do you have when you meet other people kind of in the industry, but that understand that? Because I think of like Brad Narducci, and I don't know him real well, but every time I'm around Brad, I'm like, man, I feel like we're friends
For sure.
at a different level, because you use your brain in a similar way that I use mine, and at least, if nothing else, you understand the sort of hard that I go through. Is it hard to find people that you have that with?
So I'm lucky enough is I travel with the same group almost every weekend. It's Chris Rankin, the announcer, Matt West announcing, Clint Atkins announcing. Flint Rasmussen was, of course, our entertainer for a year, and now it's Brinson or whoever we have. But I'm lucky enough where I have a family there. I have a family on the road. Like Flint and Rankin and I, we like college football, so we're usually on the road on Saturdays, and we order pizza, and we, work together on that. And if you're just hanging out with them, all of a sudden you're talking about what you're going to do at that perf for the night, or what's going to happen, and then it's just you're conducive to a team. Now, guys that go rodeo and stuff, they'll have a different announcer, different clown, different music director every week, and that's a whole other thing to kind of navigate through. But where I'm blessed in the world of the PBRs, and I'll say it, I think we have I'll take me out of the deal, but I think we have the best talent group there is.
That is exactly how I feel.
I mean, what you're saying right there is we grow the Hondo, is having that core group of people that's the best at what they do, and have that, that family, so to speak, element to it, to where, you guys, we live, eat, sleep, and breathe it. And even sitting here talking to him, we don't know each other that well, but I get where he's coming from and understand
it's
what he's
caught
doing.
not taught. It's caught not taught. You could say the exact same words, but if somebody hasn't lived that experience, it doesn't. I don't want to say it's not drama or like victim or anything like that, but like if somebody hasn't shared that pain, it doesn't. It's probably real similar to music, that there's just a sound. Like if somebody has experienced something like you have, you're like, yeah, that's it.
Right.
Or it's kind of like that, but not right. And I think that's why, like for me with the Hondo, I've told the guys, if they call me tomorrow, they go, we're not going to put on rodeos or concerts anymore. Tomorrow we're going to pivot and we're going to be a construction company. Same guys, I'm in.
That's right. Give me a job running.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of rodeo.
Right.
And I'm lucky that we get to do what we're doing, but
right.
I feel like I was 43 years old before I found a home. And I'm not exaggerating. I felt like I was a stray. I had people I loved and people that loved me.
Sure.
I think that I was good at it, like that I did, but it is so rare to tap into these kind of conversations of shared experiences for all the ways that it's different, for that one way that it's the same, to be like, no way, you too? Yeah, no, you too.
Right.
Okay, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy.
Right.
I remember the conversation we had about you coming in. Cord, Cord runs all of our rodeo operations, and like I say, Cord, one of our founders that helped us get this thing going, and my business partner, and he said, hey, I'm bringing in a music director, whenever the first conversation was, and you trust the person he's going to bring, if he says this is the guy, this is the guy, right?
Yeah.
And then to have him come in and feel like a part of what, come right in and be a part of what we're doing, and have that sense of family, like we're talking about. That's huge to us.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that so much, and having that, and I need to circle back around. I can do any of it. I have a great wife at home that I've been married to for almost 32 years that I don't worry about one damn thing at home. She takes care of the horses. My phone's buzzing right now. There are chickens or whatever. But very successful wife. She has her own career. I remember a few years ago somebody said, man, isn't it hard when he leaves on Thursday and flies back on Sunday? She goes, no, I'm okay with that.
I'm all right. I'm good. Yeah.
So I'm lucky there to where I have a great support system at home, and I'm excited to go home to her. Yeah.
That means a lot to be, especially having to come out here like we do and be on the road as much as we're having to be on the road. Having that kind of support system at home is everything.
Because I've got buddies that don't have that, that have the other kind of tough, and they struggle. Yeah.
I would hope that we get a chance to do this in-depth, one-on-one with both of you guys when it's quiet and we're not in Vegas. These are interviews. There's no way around it. We're doing podcasts, but these are interviews. It's loud. It's distracting. At some point, if we got the chance, I want to know more about New Mexico. We've been talking about doing this for years. This is what we had the option to do. I'm glad we got to do it. So are you, this might be breaking news, maybe April? Are you in on April?
In New Orleans? That's my plan yet.
I was going to ask. I was like, man, if the answer is no,
I know you're coming to New Orleans. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. Yeah.
Let's just plan on getting together. I'd like to go more into it. And I'll tell you, this guy, I was talking to him yesterday in the van. He's got a story that I had no clue about. And so I'm glad we got to do this part right here.
Did he tell you the lineup, by the way? You know the lineup for New Orleans?
Yeah, I'm on the text string, man.
All
I
right,
got
just
the
making
text.
sure you had the lineup.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been cathartic for me because, like I said, having spent so much of my life feeling like I can't explain why this is hard. I don't know how to put into words why I'm battling the things that I'm battling, and then now all of a sudden I'm around people who are like, yeah, no, us too. What do you do? Oh, I'll do this. I'll do that. Like, selfishly, if y'all got nothing out of this, it's been helpful for me. So I appreciate you taking time to do it, and I hope we can do it again.
I appreciate you having me very much.
Absolutely. We'll do it again.